Namaste everyone. Welcome to Lessons with Lakshmi. Today we'll be discussing about the poem No Men Are Foreign by James Kirkup. Before we get into the poem, let us learn a little bit about the poet James Falconer Kirkup. James Kirkup was an English poet, translator and travel writer. His first book of poetry, The Drowned Sailor at the Downs, was published in 1947. He wrote over 30 books including novels and plays. He wrote under many pen names including James Falconer, Andrew James, etc. He became a Fellow of the Royal Society of Literature in 1962. He died in Andorra on 10th May 2009. Before we start with the poem, let us learn what is this poem about. This poem is about world peace. Here, the poet in a very simple language explains how all men are same even though they belong to different countries or even though they don't belong to the same community, how they are same and how their emotions are same, how their labor is same and how the elements of the earth or war or all these things affect the man similarly. So he is saying basically all men are same and how he is comparing all these men, giving all the examples, or he is saying how men respond to all these things is same. So this is such a beautifully written poem and it is in a very simple language. I'm sure you are going to enjoy this poem if you listen to it. I'm going to read the stanza and then I'll explain each line in detail. Remember, no men are strange, no country is foreign. Beneath all uniforms, a single body breathes like ours. The land our brothers walk upon is earth like this, in which we all shall lie. Remember, the poet is telling us, audience, or a person who is reading this poetry. He is telling that person or he is telling us, no men are strange. Strange means unusual, not belonging to us, not native. Okay? Unusual or weird or something not like us. No men are strange. He is saying nobody is strange. No country is foreign. No country is different from our own. Okay? He is saying no country is foreign. It's not something different from our own. Then how is it not different? He is explaining to us. Beneath all uniforms. Now here beneath means under. Under all uniforms. What are uniforms? He is using a metaphor uniform for three things over here. One uniform is what soldiers wear. That is uniform. When they are fighting with other country, in order to differentiate the soldiers, they have certain uniforms. That is what soldiers wear. Second uniform he is talking about is cultural differences. For example, being an Indian, we wear a sari, okay, or Punjabi dress, or chudidar, all these things. Or if you are a foreigner, you will wear a skirt, blouse, something like that. So culturally we are different. What we wear, we differ in that, okay. So that is one more uniform. The third uniform he is talking about. What is the word uniform stand for? Same, similar. Now here our skin, if you look at the skin, all the foreigners are very fair. They are called as whites. See, Americans, they are white in color. So they are called as whites. And there are many people who are black. So they are called as blacks. We Asians are called as browns. So they have differentiation on the type of skin you have, the color of the skin, the race. You are differentiated on the race. Okay, so that is one more uniform he is talking about. Under all the uniforms, a single body breathes like us. Breathes, a body, a function of the body is same. Underneath all those uniforms, the function of the body is same. You have the same kind of blood, you have the same functions inside your body, the person breathes in the same manner, so there is no difference. So he is saying you breathe in the same way. And our brothers walk upon is earth like us. See, we have only one earth as our home, only one earth. Now we are living on the earth, and even a foreigner is living on the earth only. So he is saying our brothers, why they are related to us. Now if you remember Christianity, if you remember about Adam and Eve, we know because they sinned, the human generation happened, the humans continued. So you know, all the people come from the same person, so we are related to them. That is why the poet says they are our brothers. The land our brothers walk on means that land, they might be walking in another continent, doesn't matter, but they are also walking on the same earth. He is saying, in which we all shall lie. Now this is a very beautiful line which I love a lot. He says, in which we all lie. We all shall lie means what? In the future when we die, we all shall lie, he says. Means when you die, when your body becomes one with elements of the earth. That means you might be cremated, you might be buried, you might be left in the ocean, water, whatever is your way of burial of the dead body. Ultimately you are going to become one with the five elements of the earth. So he says we are going to become one with the earth only. We are walking on the earth and we become one with the earth. So he is saying, in which we all shall lie. When we all die, we are going to become one with the earth. Such beautifully he has written. They too, aware of sun and air and water, are fed by peaceful harvests, by war's long winter starved. Their hands are ours, and in their lines we read a labor not different from our own. Now here he says, they too. Who are they? The brothers, the foreigners he is talking about, who he is stressing that they are not foreigners, they are all same. Men are all same, they are not strange. Aware of sun and air and water. Now here, air does not have a border and sun does not have a border. You cannot control sun and air. Okay, you can control water by building a dam, but still it is uncontrollable sometimes. Okay, so here these elements, sun, air, water, all these elements are uncontrollable. They are similar to all the people on the earth. You cannot differentiate. They also need sun, air, water, all these things for living, same like us. And they are fed by peaceful harvest. Now here this is important because in each and every line he is saying we should not have wars, we should not fight with another country. Okay, in the first stanza if you see, he is using uniforms which says soldiers uniform. Here he is saying peaceful harvest, peaceful war he is using again and again. So here peaceful harvest means when there is no war and when the climatic conditions are good, you will have a nice harvest, and we are all happy when we have nice harvest to feed us, to feed the human beings. By war's long winter starved. Now here he is comparing war with the winter. Now how is he comparing? When war happens, there is scarcity of food. Okay, there are no crops. Even in Vietnam, what happened? The American soldiers destroyed the Vietnam crops so that they will not have grains, food to eat. So what happens here? He is comparing the war with the winter. During winter, how you don't get crops easily without climatic conditions, you will not get fields or crops to so only certain types of plants will grow in winter, so you will not get the staple food from winter. So he is saying during winter how we are starving, how we are hungry, same way during war also we will have. So he is comparing winter with the war, and during that time what happens? When we are not having harvest, we are hungry, we are starving. Starving means not having, scarcity of food is called as a starving, hungry. Their hands are ours. Now with what do you do labor? With hands. You work hard with your hands, and that is when you reap benefits, you reap something from, you reap the crops. Okay, and in their lines we read our labor not different from our own. So he says, let us remember. So again he is telling us, let us remember, we as a people, let us remember whenever we are told to hate our brothers. Who tells us to hate our brothers? Who tells us? The leaders of our country. They decide if we are going to war with the other country or not. They decide if we have to fight with the other country or not. So we have border issues, we have all those things. Why is it? The government decides what is good for the people. Okay, now when the government decides like that, then he is saying it is ourselves that we shall dispossess. Dispossess means not accept, dislodge, disapprove. Okay, betray means not being loyal with, and condemn means blame. So we are fighting with ourselves, we are not accepting ourselves, because he says though brothers are same like us. No, so he says they are our brothers, the foreign people are our brothers. So we cannot go and fight with them, because you will be fighting with yourselves, you will be fighting with your own brothers. You are being not trusting, not being trustworthy, or being disloyal to yourself, and you are blaming, you have to blame yourself. And then he says, remember, we who take arms against each other, arms here means weapons, okay, artillery. When we are taking arms against each other, when we are going to fight with other country people, when we are in war with other country, when we take weapons, we are the people who are taking weapons against them. Okay, he is saying like that. Then it is the human earth that we defile. When we take arms against them, what are we doing? We are defiling our human earth. So we have only one earth, we have only one house where we can live. There is no other planet that gives that has life. So we have only one planet which has life in it, that is earth. When we take arms against each other, when we are using weapons against each other, what are we doing? We are not only killing our brothers, but we are also killing, polluting the earth. So here defile means pollute. Okay, polluting the human earth. We are polluting our earth where we are living. We are dirtying our own house. That is what he is saying. Our hells of fire and dust outrage the innocence of air that is everywhere our own. Remember, no men are foreign and no country is strange. He is saying our hells of fire. Now what are hells of fire? Maybe bombs or maybe weapons we are using. So bombs, atomic bombs. You remember when America bombed Hiroshima and Nagasaki for many years. There were mutation problems, there were diseases among the people, there were so many, for generations they were having problems, because what America did when it threw bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, it not only killed the people but it killed the earth itself. The earth was degraded and it was polluted so much that vegetation was not there for so many years. Plants did not grow in that land for so many years. Okay, hells of fire means these weapons, artillery, these atomic bombs or nuclear bombs, and dust, the dust it produces, the chemical reactions it produces, all these things outrage the innocence of air. What happens? It is defiling the innocence of air, it is polluting the innocence of air. Outrage means extreme anger. Okay, it is defiling the innocence of air. It is not only affecting the human beings, but it is also polluting the very air that is everywhere our own. As I said, our air doesn't have a border, it can circulate everywhere. So you cannot hold the air, you cannot tell air that this is my border, you will not go out of it, you cannot constrict it. So we are polluting our own air. Remember, no men are foreign and no country is strange. That is why he is saying no men are foreign, all are your brothers, and no country is strange. Such a beautiful poem. I hope you enjoyed it. Let us move on to the rhyme scheme, figures of speech and everything. The rhyme scheme for the poem doesn't have a rhyme scheme. It is written in the free verse. And let us discuss about the figures of speeches. I will be discussing each and every stanza first. So first stanza, if you see, there is enjambment. What is enjambment? If a line continues to the next line without a break. For example, Beneath all uniforms, a single body breathes like us. So it is a continuation. Okay, then it is called as an enjambment. So we have in first stanza, second and third line is enjambment, and third and fourth line also you see, the land our brothers walk upon is earth like this. So it is again continuation. So we have two enjambments in the first stanza. Then we have uniforms. Now I told you uniform stands for three things. I explained when I was explaining the poem. Again I am not going to explain. So uniforms here can stand for cultural attire, or the skin, or the soldiers who wear uniforms during war. So uniform stands for three metaphors. And brothers, he is saying they are other men. So he is comparing them to our brothers. So brothers is also a metaphor. Then we have which we, that is again alliteration or consonance. Consonant sound is repeated, so it is alliteration or consonance. Which we, sound is repeated. Then you have sun and air and water. If you look in the second stanza, we have the first figure of speech we have is sun and air and water. This is a new figure of speech we have never come across before. It is polysyndeton. What is polysyndeton? When conjunctions such as and, or, but, these all words are used for rhythm unnecessarily, when there is no necessity to use these words, but for the rhythm's sake, when a poet uses them, then that is called, that figure of speech is called as a polysyndeton. Okay. Then we have peaceful harvest. What is peaceful harvest? It is transferred epithet. Now in the last poem also I have explained what is a transferred epithet. Here also when an adjective is describing about the noun, it does not specify that noun, but actually it specifies some other thing. For example, the harvests are not peaceful. The people who harvest those are having peaceful harvests. Okay, so that is transferred epithet. Then we have war's long winter. Now here war is compared to winter. That is a metaphor. Also war, winter, war sound is repeated. So we have alliteration or consonance as well as metaphor. Okay, alliteration as well as metaphor. Let's move on to the next stanzas. Okay, one more enjambment I forgot here. Their hands are ours, and in their lines we read a labor. That is a continuation. So we have enjambment over here. Again, as soon as we look at the third stanza, we can see so many enjambments. See the first and the second line, wake or sleep is enjambment. And strength that can be won by love, that is again enjambment. In every land is common life that all can recognize and understand. So all the three lines, first and second line, second and third line, and third and fourth line are enjambments we have in the third stanza. And then when you look at the wake or sleep, this is antithesis. Two opposite words are used in a single line, then that is called as antithesis. Okay. Then we have whenever we. When we go to the next stanza, fourth stanza, again in fourth stanza we have enjambment. See first and second line. Let us remember, whenever we are told to hate our brothers, so that is a continuation. So that is enjambment. And in second and third lines also, see, it is ourselves that we shall dispossess. That is again enjambment. We have two more enjambments here. And then again brothers, I have already explained, that is a metaphor. And whenever we is alliteration or consonance. Whenever we, sound is repeated. Arms against. Now what is a consonance? When same consonant is used to repeat the sound, that is consonance. When vowels are used to repeat the sound, then that is called as assonance. Arms against. So this is again assonance or alliteration, and whenever we is alliteration or consonance. So these are the figures of speeches we have in the fourth stanza. Look at the fifth stanza. We have enjambment again in the second and the third line. See, outrage the innocence of air. That is the enjambment. And when we say it is a single line, the word R is repeated. So we can say that is repetition. And our own, that is again assonance. So you can say it's alliteration or assonance. So this is about, so this is repetition, R. and enjambment, and then we have alliteration and one more figure of speech throughout the poem. The poet is referring to us, he is talking to us, the people who are not, the person who is not there in the poem, and when the poet refers to that person who is not there in the poem, that kind of figure of speech is called as an apostrophe. The poet is actually talking throughout the poem to us, the audience. We are not there in the poem, so this whole poem is apostrophe. Okay, so with this figures of speeches is done, let us move on to the question answers. We have very few questions and you already know all the answers for it, so we'll just go through it very fast. Beneath all uniforms, I have already explained what uniforms do you think the poet is speaking about. Again, uniforms is a metaphor for three things. That is, during the war, the soldiers wear that uniform. Maybe the cultural attire people wear, that uniform that segregates the people into one, and also the skin color. Okay. How does the poet suggest that all people on earth are same? Now, if you remember the poem, he says people are same because a single body breathes. Okay, and they all shall lie in the earth. So when they die, they will all lie in, they all shall lie in the earth. That is, they will become one with the earth, with the five elements. That is one more thing he says. And wake, sleep, this he says, and all the emotions we can add, even though he is not saying like hate, love. He says that the strength the person gets is from the love. So love you can add, and the labor is same for all the people. All these things he uses as same for all the people on the earth. In stanza 1, find 5 ways in which we are all alike. Now, just now I discussed in stanza 1 what all he uses. He says we all breathe, we all have a same body, single body which breathes. So a person, all of us breathe, all of us have similar body underneath our uniforms, and we all walk and we all shall lie in the earth when we die. Okay, live and die on the same earth. All these points you can write from the first stanza. How many common features can you find in the second stanza? In second stanza, what are the common features we are talking about? He talks about the elements, sun, air, water, and then he says peaceful harvest, and then he says war like winter. Okay, so and then he also talks about hands and labor are same, and the lines are lines in our hands are same. So all these words you can write which are same for all of us. Okay, then the next question we have, whenever we are told to hate our brothers, when do you think this happens? Now, when do you think this happens? When there is a war waging between two countries, when there are border issues, when there are issues between two countries. We are nothing is new to us. Now we are having border issues with China, and we have been fighting for Kashmir with Pakistan for so long, and we have been having peace talks and so many problems we are facing. So we are not new to all these things. You know all this. Who tells us? The government tells us, because the government thinks for the people and for our own country. So government tells us. Should we do as we are told at such times? What does the poet say? The poet says actually we are doing what the government says because we have faith in our government that it does whatever is good for its own country. Okay, now should we do all these things? It is up to people. Now people, if they think what government is doing is correct, can do whatever government says. If what government says is wrong, then you can go against the government. So it is what you think they are asking. For it is, this question is about what the student thinks. So you have to answer. So with this we finished our No Men Are Foreign, and I hope you enjoyed this poem as much as I do, because this is such a sweet and very beautiful poem, and I loved it a lot, and I hope you also enjoy it a lot. And I'll meet you with my next poem very soon. Have a wonderful